Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 5, episode number 5 of Too Much to Handle. I am Billy the Kid. I am accompanied by my main man, the mighty A.O. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, Billy? It's good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Ready to do another show? How's your weekend? I mean, obviously, we're going to start with the weekend update on your dating life because that's what everyone wants to know. What's going on with the mighty A.O.?
I had an amazing weekend. Before we get into my dating life, got to start out before you go and get the ladies. Got to know how to start be fit. So pretty much I took care of myself. Got into a little jiu-jitsu. That's what I've been doing. Like I told you, I told my pictorial.
Right, I know you do jiu-jitsu at the
At
gym.
Victory, at Victory, and I have some great coaches, Dean Lister and Jocko. They own the place. So a little shout out to them. Got jiu-jitsu in, and then also got some yoga in session to kind of help with my injury that I got. I tore my pectoral a couple months ago. So it's been good. I got that in, and then I had some lady friends come in for the weekend.
So just to touch on that really quick, I will give you props because I know the jiu-jitsu is phenomenal for your mind, body, and soul.
It is. When I go, I forget about time there.
Right.
I forget about, like, no matter what time of day, whether it's work, whether it's any stress going on, I go there and I kind of just forget about it.
Release it all.
And I'm learning. I'm into them, what they're saying. I'm excited about the weight I'm losing. I'm down. I've lost about 10 pounds down here.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Get it.
So
and, the other thing I was going to say is I know for some the yoga thing sounds weird, but man, that yoga, that shit is so phenomenal for your body.
Dude,
like,
they teach
good for you,
how
man.
to breathe. They teach you all the little toxins that come out of your body.
Yeah.
You're like kind of.
No, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that you're taking care of yourself. I am the married guy, so I don't take care of myself nearly as much as you do. But you know what? If I was you and I was out in the single world, still dating and being on Match.com and plenty of fish and all that shit, I would be still skinny and fresh and all those things that you're trying to accomplish. So I have mad respect for you in doing that. So with that being said, let's get into your weekend. Did you like you had mentioned last week that you had maybe mentioned some girls on Match or Plenty of Fish or something? What went on? Like you also mentioned that your boy was coming down with like a couple of broads. Like what was up with that? Like 2-3 chicks came down and stayed with you this weekend? What's going on?
Yeah, no, one of my friends came down and it was a busy weekend. So you would say it's sand to the beach, but he brought one of his lady friends, but she brought 2 other friends. So we had 3 lady friends and us enjoying.
And you brought them where? To your pool at your condo?
Pool area, yeah.
Well, that could, that could work as a double positive though, because like we had mentioned off microphone that when you bring hot chicks to your surroundings, it's only going to attract the interest of the other ladies that
some
you
people
might have
say
had
it's
interest in.
to the beach, but I thought it was great.
Well,
because,
it's not sand on the beach if it's somewhere that you're
they were
fishing
attracting other ladies around there also too.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's just bringing chum to the same fucking lake you're catching big fish at. That's awesome.
But I was surprised because a lot of the people are like, "Oh, who's this guy bringing those girls?" And what was cool about that, I was into actually my friends that were there, and one of the 2 girls, they were cousins.
Oh, 2 cousins! You had to choose between 2 cousins.
I had to choose, and
so how'd it work? How'd it work? So when he brought these 3 girls down, obviously one was off limits. So the other 2, did you have to sit there and like figure out which one you were going to try to bone?
No, pretty much.
I mean, in layman's.
Essentially, I was trying to find out the first day who am I going to vibe, because you're just getting to know them. They get here, they're starting to drink. People are like, they're feeling the vibe. They're I don't know. The party was going on. The music was happening. So
which one were you vibing with? What happened? Come on. Break it down.
Okay, no names, but
of course not.
So I'm going to go cousin A and cousin B.
That's fine.
Okay.
I like that.
And cousin A is the one I started initially jiving with. She's in the pool with me. We're drinking. She's like dancing. I'm actually
flirting with you. Any
get
physical contact?
You get the leg rubbed. She's on your back.
Oh yeah.
And this is during the day, mind you. We're probably.
Well, you're in the pool. It's got to be during the day. That's fine.
And we're drinking. They're getting the extra Mai Tais. They're trying to juice it up with the 5 liquors. And I'm
fuck yeah.
So, anyways, through that first day, her and I are just vibing. We even go out at the end of the night. And I kind of hit her up. I was like, do you have a boyfriend? And
Oh, why would you even bother with that? It's a weekend fling.
because I had to see what was going on.
But she doesn't live here. Oh, you're such a nice guy. You're such a nice guy. Like, who gives a shit? She obviously doesn't live here.
Okay, here's the reason. Okay, if she does have a boyfriend or not, I can go for the other one, right?
Okay, fair enough.
So I had to find out what was going on because I knew she was going to be going home and the other one was staying.
But if she was giving you signals, like, what does that mean? I mean, are you looking at one of these two girls as like potential girlfriend material, or are you just trying to have a good weekend?
I'm trying to have a good weekend. I know the other one's going to stay and this one's going home.
Oh, okay.
So either
so you're going to try to
either
hit the quick one and then like have the second one for
either I'm
later
going to
down
get
the
her
road.
number, and kind of go in on this one, or find out before I even go too far. I just need to find out she has a boyfriend, and she told me she didn't. Right, so I'm like, okay, I'm kind of digging her. So the next day she goes home, and the other cousin 2 stays. So the next cousin.
So then is cousin 2 on your jammy after
she's
that?
on my jammy the next day, and I'm like,
Oh, well then fucking rock and roll. I mean, was cousin 2 good looking? Were they both good looking? Like, what's going on? What compare the two between A and B? Who was the hotter cousin?
I like the A.
You like the A. So, but because A wasn't there, B was there giving you some attention. You were all about it.
I was. I feel guilty about it. I just went in, and she's all hugging and kissing. I'm like,
Hey man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you're a good-looking single young guy? Like, that's what you do. I mean, last week we talked about, you had mentioned some potentials on Match, but fuck it, like you had the shit spoon-fed to you. Like, what are you gonna do?
No, it was a blessed weekend. I got in my jiu-jitsu, got my yoga, and I felt like everything followed suit with that.
Okay, so what happened with the second cousin? Anything solid, or are you still holding off on the first one? Like, what happened? How did the weekend end for you?
And that cousin, like the second cousin, and she stayed the night, and we kissed, and she liked me, and we were supposed to talk, but I started asking about the cousin one with the other one, and
oh my god, dude,
no, with the friend, with
player card revoked. What are you thinking? You asked about the other cousin with the one that you were
with the third, with my buddy, his girlfriend she brought the 2 friends.
I know, but you asked cousin B about cousin A?
No, I asked my original friend.
You asked your buddy's chick about cousin A.
Yeah, and she said,
dude, you're here with my other friend,
Exactly.
cousin B. Like, wow, don't be a total scumbag.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. So
I'm not.
So with cousin B, it was just kissy.
All
so
I did
there's
is
no
just be nice guy and just be friendly.
right. So there's
nothing
you didn't do anything with cousin B that would legitimately make cousin A like bummed out, right? Like, so you could still potentially have a shot with cousin A.
I kissed cousin B, and I can't go back.
You can't go back to cousin A after that.
No.
Is that how this works?
And she had
if you kiss one,
you can't go back.
Can't go back. Okay. So they're tight. So they're gonna share everything.
Share.
Well, okay. So then you're kind of fucked then, huh? I mean, if you're okay. Do you have any future expectations with either of them then, or just because of the way the chips fell? Like,
okay, there's always factors. The one that cousin B had 3 kids.
Cousin B had 3 kids.
Yeah, so there was. I don't know.
You are just not about dating girls with kids, are you yet?
Probably 3 kids. It's kind of a lot. It's a little responsibility.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That is a lot. 3 kids is a lot.
I don't know. All I know is I had a great weekend.
But, there's someone for everyone.
Correct.
And kids shouldn't technically come into play, but yeah, I can see how that's a little rough. That's a little shocking. Like,
I believe I did my duties as a good host.
How old was cousin B?
They were in their mid-30s.
Mid-30s, and she had 3 kids. Ooh,
yeah.
She got an early start. Was she married or?
She had a twins.
Oh,
so
well, but that's a one-shot thing,
Yeah, so 2 boys there and a girl, but so no, it was a good weekend. I made friends, and it was fun.
Okay, well that's cool.
Okay, but you asked about Match, so here's my issue. So
break it down on Match, because I thought you said you had some leads on Match.
Yeah, there's so many different scenarios. You're talking to this girl, she's writing you back. There's times you're like, probably about to go see her, and they, somehow it's not real until you go see them. And then there's this other chick. I've never done this before. We became friends on Facebook.
Oh, like through Match, then into Facebook.
Yeah, she's all like, she wanted to find out who I was.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
And
like,
I thought that was
if you
cool.
meet someone on Match, and you can really see more personal aspects of someone on Facebook.
So
which is why I'm not on Facebook.
But the thing is, I want to talk to these people prior. Hey, let's go meet up or what have you. So I don't know what the ratio is. It takes a lot of your time to go. So it's
okay. So let's cut the chase. What happened after she checked you out on Facebook? You had mentioned something about a concert.
Go out, and she wanted to fucking go to this Louis Miguel concert in Anaheim, and these tickets are $150 a ticket.
For Louis Miguel, that's $150 is fucking cheap. Honestly, like for him, like he's a baller in the Hispanic community.
Oh, he's
so
amazing.
She wanted you to pay for both the tickets.
Honestly, I don't know. She just
without
said, hey,
knowing her, like she wanted you to fucking spring for the tickets.
I don't know.
Without even meeting her in person.
She just said, "Hey, this is what I want to do for my first date, and are you interested?" I tried doing all these other things. You want to go Padre game? Let's go to Del Mar races. I mean, there's so many.
And she brought up Louis Miguel.
Yeah,
she wanted that for her first date with you.
All she
so
wanted.
Naturally, she wanted you to spring for the tickets and then like pick her up and take her up there, dude. They're $150 minimum per ticket.
What do you do? What do you do? And then, okay, mind you, this person.
I would tell her straight up, like, fucking, that's way too big of a burden on a first date. I just think that's too much. I mean, me personally, in my past, I had met people online, and the last thing I would ever fucking agree to is dropping $300 to $400 on a fucking concert ticket, not to mention all getting there and all the other bullshit.
Exactly. It's in Anaheim. I never met her, and I'm like, okay, let's just fucking
okay,
talk.
So why didn't you just tell her, hey, why don't we just fucking meet first, have a drink here in town, and then we'll discuss.
I did, and she said, I don't want to do that, and I just said, peace.
Oh, fuck that.
Shit.
Bye, bitch.
No,
bye, Felicia.
No, but, I mean.
No, you did the right thing, because anyone who's trying to get you to take her to, like a concert of that magnitude on a first date, I'm telling you right now, 9 times out of 10, it's probably bogus. It's probably just some bitch trying to get into a show, and then, boo, she would have left you in the dust.
Probably.
Well, maybe not you, because you're a fucking stud, but
shit.
But like for like I've heard horror stories repeatedly about chicks like that who get on there and
horror
like
stories out there.
Yeah,
why
try
wouldn't
to
they
get
just
you
at least
in
say,
and
let's
try
talk.
to pay for dinners and go to concerts and shit like that. Like that's not fucking realistic. Any woman who's got a fucking heart and soul that you want to meet on any of these websites, the last thing you want to hear from them is go, "Oh, I want a first date to be Hawaii or fucking Louis Miguel." Because think about it, like you bought the tickets for Louis Miguel, that would have been minimum $300 to $400. Then the transportation, then the food and drink, like all that shit. You'd have been in for almost a G. Like, how the fuck is that? How is a first date ever worth that?
This girl on her Facebook, she's a pilot. She's doing amazing stuff. So I could see
she's a pilot.
She's going to pilot class. She's fucking.
Oh, so she's not a pilot. She's just in a pilot school.
Yeah, she's ambitious. So
what does she do? Like
she's a nurse. Like she's
She's
ambitious. She's 30, and she has 2 kids again. And
dude, you keep finding the ones with kids. You just need to give up your hang up with the kids. Just go with it, baby. It's
okay. If it wasn't Louis Miguel.
Louis Miguel?
Yeah, concert that wasn't $150.
Yeah, that one seems that's a stretch. Nah, you're right. That's a stretch.
And don't you think Del Mar would have been a good time?
Del
they have
Mar's
concerts there at night.
First date. Del Mar's a perfect first date, especially on a 4:00 Friday.
You got the brigantine right
there. You watch the races. You go to the free show. Then again, like you said, you go to the brig, have cocktails, feel them out. Like you have a whole process there.
So much to do.
And that's not even remotely.
You could do some bets together, or maybe win some lucky.
Yeah,
thing.
you have that one-on-one interaction, especially with the gambling. Like, God, every
you
time my wife and I go,
bit.
yeah, totally. Even when my wife and I go to the racetrack, like we have this awesome bonding experience. Like when we're betting on horses, and like we get all fucking, for lack of a better word, cute with each other, and then the whole night is great. So yeah,
So someone else is gonna get the Del Mar racetracks, and hopefully. That I'll have a good.
Well, I think the racetrack's done. Actually,
are they?
The racetrack's over, but there's still plenty of shit in San Diego to do. There's still plenty of like local shit to do. You don't have to go to Anaheim for Louis Miguel and spend that kind of money. That's absurd.
I was just shocked, and I'm like, dude, this match stuff takes a lot of my personal time. I got to go in there. I got to search. I don't know. It's weird.
Is Plenty of Fish easier?
I'm not on Plenty of Fish. I need.
Oh, you dumped that one.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were still on that one. Because I know we've talked about it a million times, and it just seems like Plenty of Fish is just like hookup site.
I was on there
but
back in my days.
Yeah, but if you're looking for a potential, futuristic thing, like I get the match thing, and have you considered eHarmony? I mean, I know that's another one.
So you pay these subscriptions, and I'm just gonna wait out my time. I'm doing a little trial. I'm back down in San Diego, and then hopefully, maybe I would prefer to meet someone out in the scene. Just me being me, preferably, actually.
Yeah, well, that's what we all hope to, and some of us get lucky, some don't, so that's cool. Moving along, I would like to get into a little sports on our first segment. I know you're not the hugest football fan, but I know you pay attention to football, and you got to admit, last night's game with the Packers and the Bears was fucking epic. For Rodgers to come back like that, that was a thing of beauty. Throwing 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter on one leg, like, come on, you got to admit.
It was Sunday Night Football at its finest. I didn't think the Chicago Bears were going to start out the way they did. They got this new quarterback. What's his name?
Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky. He's going like almost 9 for 9 or something.
It wasn't. Yeah,
dude, he was on fire, and then you had the injury with Khalil Mack taking out Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it wasn't Khalil Mack. It was another linebacker that landed on his leg sideways. But Khalil Mack was an absolute fucking terror in the first half of that game. He set defensive records for a first half of football. Like this is the guy that was supposed to be a Packer, and here he is on my number one rival, and he's fucking destroying us. Like it was a nightmare being again. But
so you had to be bummed out, and I was about to kind of text you and give you shit because you guys were down the first half.
You and every other fucking asshole friend of mine.
I turned on the TV, and you guys are on your comeback at the fourth quarter. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers, baby.
I'm glad
he's
I
a bad man. Come on.
And then his Danica Patrick getting all happy up there in the stands.
I know, she was like a nervous little mom up there. That was funny.
I was proud. He's a good guy. You got some good to stand behind. I mean, the place that, like, we're in podcast land right here. We're recording our studio, and it's freaking Packer land down here. And so
I'm sorry.
I'm happy for your team. I mean, it was a first good season start out this year.
I'm everyone knows I'm a diehard Packer fan. So yeah. The studio is Packer land, but that's just how we roll. So speaking of good guys and bad guys, as far as football is concerned, I want your opinion on this. Now, have you seen the Nike commercials with Colin Kaepernick narrating and being at the end of the commercial? And if so, what's your opinion on it?
To be honest, I have not seen the ad. All I see is everything but the ad, and everyone's opinion on the ad from both sides of the perspective. Some people, I don't know what's fake and what not to believe. But there's a lot of shit going on right now on that.
Yeah, so
it's a sports movement.
Yeah, totally. It was a bold move by Nike. I personally don't think it was a good move, and a lot of people don't think it was a good move. And let me explain why.
Okay.
And no, I'm not against anyone's, right to protest for whatever reason it is. Like I have no problem with that.
Essentially.
But there's a marketing company that does likability tests for brands, and the week before Nike put out the commercial, Nike was at a 70% likability among U.S. citizens. And now this isn't between one age group. This is all age groups, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, like all races, all age groups. It's 70%. So after the Colin Kaepernick ad came out, the commercial, it dropped to 35% likability after that commercial came out. And again, this isn't a certain demographic. This is all demographics combined.
But you know what I saw? I saw their sales go up online too.
No,
I see. That's what I'm saying. We all see our own news.
But they're not. They dropped
No,
They
online
dropped significantly.
sales. Not the online sales.
Dude, if you look online, there's people are burning their shoes. Like, I'm not agreeing with any of this. I think it's ridiculous. I think that you shouldn't tie in a fucking clothing line with a specific athlete. I mean,
What
that's
do you
all
mean?
marketing.
Jordan is
I know, but that's all marketing. Like,
Yeah.
for me, I wear shoes that feel good on my feet and are comfortable. I don't give a fuck what athlete
That's
or
not
what
true. That's why
person is.
Serena Williams. That's why all these UFC. They all get signed by. That's one of the biggest things. When
No, I'm
Nike
talking about
started-
me as a consumer.
Oh, okay, that's you, and I know you're one portion of the big whole scenario of it, and so you. That's great. That's a small, like, we have a spectrum.
I don't
Maybe
think
you're-
it's as small as you think. I think it's a little bigger than a small percentage.
No, I think athletes. It's what Nike's about. It's not. There is consumers, but it's more based upon athletes. They support athletes. That's why it's out there.
They do definitely support athletes, but I think the
every
majority of
aspect.
their sales, their retail sales, are not to athletes.
So we should do some research, and it just came out, and we're kind of concerned. We both have opinions on whether it's right or wrong. Let's really look at see
Okay,
what happens
but
over
let
time.
me ask you this: do you agree with Nike making Colin Kaepernick the face of their 30th anniversary of their product? Do you think that was not a stretch, not a gamble?
I think it's the beginning of the season, and
It's not
They
about
ha-
a season,
hold on.
though. It's
No,
Nike. It's
I
not
know,
a,
but it's Nike sponsors football, right?
yeah, but
and
they
they're-
sponsor everything.
Correct.
So
but
what I'm asking you is, this is their 30th year in business. This is their anniversary year. Do you think that having Colin Kaepernick and his,
they're
social political issues
they're
is
choosing
a
a
good
direction.
thing?
They're choosing a direction. So let's see if that direction works. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but let's
Okay,
see.
because what I've seen online is their sales have dropped dramatically.
Again, let's see, because I see different stuff out there.
Okay, I've seen drops.
So you say no. I say I don't think it's a bad thing.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. We're not. No, you
hopefully
didn't ask my opinion.
Hopefully, it desensitizes.
I'm just telling you what I read.
The premise of like, if these athletes want to stick together behind them, they're the ones playing.
Again, you're missing my point. The commercial is not.
You're saying
The
it's not to
commercial
the
is not
consumers.
out to athletes. It's to consumers.
Yeah, and that's the
TV
consumers,
commercials
athletes.
are not based towards athletes. They're based towards consumers.
It's a
So
tou-
do you think that helps or hurts Nike's campaign? Because you're fooling yourself if you think that Nike is all about a fucking political statement. Nike is
it's
about
about
making
consumer
money.
awareness.
They're about making money.
So let's
This is
see-
one of the biggest
We'll see.
clothing companies in the world. They're about making money. They're $35 billion a year. Now, I can understand them rolling the dice a little
That's a
with the
big
Colin
dice
Kaepernick
move.
thing, but here's the thing. They make enough money to where they can afford to roll the dice maybe and then go, maybe that wasn't a good idea, and they'll stop it. Or maybe it will be a good idea and they'll make $40 billion instead of $35 billion.
Maybe
I'm just saying.
it's a tough move.
I don't have an opinion
you see
really
it's not
about
so
it.
good, and
I
see-
honestly, but for me, I don't have a problem with like any of Colin's stands. I'm sick of hearing about it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And I think a lot of America is just sick of hearing about it because it's just kind of old news now because nothing's really happening about it.
Nothing's
There's no
ever happened.
conclusions. It's just like I'm just sick of hearing about it, and it doesn't give, it doesn't make me any less,
Okay, then
respectful of his issues. Like I get it, and I'm all about it, but fuck, I'm sick of hearing about him. So anyway,
Okay, then let's stop talking about it.
yeah. It's just something I wanted to ask your opinion about. Now, on a similar yet different topic, did you see Serena Williams' tirade against the judge in the U.S. Open?
I saw some clips on that.
I mean,
I saw she said, "You don't call me a cheater."
Yeah,
I don't cheat.
Yeah, and then she accused him of stealing a game from her, and then she accused him of all kinds of shit, and she said she's just sticking up for women's rights. But I don't understand how if you're sticking up for women's rights, I mean, that's great, but you're playing a woman. So it's not like she was competing against a man or anything else. I mean, I don't understand how her woman right was challenged. You know what I mean? Like
Honestly, I don't want to speak too much. When you get when you get in the heart of the game and you're passionate and you feel like you're slided and it's fucking up.
I know,
one
but she
second
took it
could
to another level, though, bro.
Dude, this is
like
a championship
this girl
game.
Osaka beat her fair and square.
Yeah, she's getting whooped up and
Fair and square, and this poor 20-year-old girl is crying on the sidelines, and then even on the podium when they did the award
she's crying
ceremony.
because she's shy about winning. And it's
She's crying because she's humiliated because Serena Williams wouldn't stop. Made a whole fucking scene
because that's her idol.
Against
she idolizes Serena Williams.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And so
she stole her thunder. This girl beat her fair and square. She's had the best tennis moment of her life, and Serena, continuing to bitch and moan, is stealing her thunder and not letting her enjoy the moment of beating her.
I don't think if you saw this girl, she couldn't enjoy the moment. She's just a shy girl, and she wasn't. You
didn't watch it. I watched it. She stole her thunder. It was not fair. The International Tennis Association released a statement saying the judge was judicious and fair and didn't do anything. All
right, everyone has their breakdowns. I agree. She should.
I know, but she went full McEnroe, and but pushed it even further than McEnroe ever has. Anyway, it
bugged you, huh?
Yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way because I just felt bad for this little Japanese girl who, earned her keep, and
congratulations to her.
Absolutely, yes. She deserved every
so
minute
we had some good weekend sports. Your Packers won. Serena Williams. I mean, she didn't win.
Yeah, she bummed me out. But I know you're a big UFC fan, so I want to ask your opinion about this as well.
Yeah, That's another good reason.
So
this
I don't
weekend
know,
was amazing. We had the Darren Till Woodley fight.
Yeah, so I don't know this guy. What's his name? Hill?
Darren Till.
Till. It's Darren Till.
UK champ.
So he fought Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
And okay, so before the fight, I saw the weigh-in.
It was all about making weight.
And I saw Till standing above him, towering him, put
Probably
his arms up in the air,
3 to 4
flexing
bigger,
on him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, bro, everyone Woodley fights is 3 to 4 inches taller than him, and he fucks them all up.
You know what's interesting? Just from an outside perspective, that is the basic truth. It doesn't matter how big you are. It's about how you handle yourself.
Yeah, Woodley's a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah.
He might be shorter in stature, but he's yoked. And he's a polished fighter.
So this guy's known as a gorilla, like how you mentioned, all top heavy, came in strong.
Yeah, but he's he's won a lot of fights, but the only person he's fought really of name is Donald Cerrone. And let's face it, the Cowboy is at the end of his career, he's fighting for a paycheck now. I love Donald Cerrone as much as the next person, but he's not a contender anymore. He's just fighting to fight because the guy loves to fight, which I respect because the dude's a badass.
He beat Wonder Boy, if you know who Wonder Boy is.
I remember Wonder Boy.
He's a champ too. No, he's beat some people, and he's
Till
a star.
Beat Wonder Boy?
No, he won in decision in 5 rounds, but he's earned his keep. He's like a Conor McGregor. People want to see those type of fighters, and
You think Till is one of these fighters?
He is. He has a very charismatic.
I think after getting punked by Woodley. For those of you who didn't know, second round.
He's never lost a fight,
he got choked the fuck out by Woodley.
Tyrone Woodley earned his black belt that night, so it was a good weekend. We had some UFC. I got some jiu-jitsu in. I got some kisses.
Let's be honest. You only got some kisses. Cousin B only gave you kisses. She didn't give you kisses with her other lips?
No, I was respectful.
That was shitty.
No, we gave hugs.
Oh, you gave hugs. Oh, that's cute.
No, it was a good weekend, and then I learned a little bit from dude, Match Girl trying to make me pay $150.
Well, that's absolutely bullshit. I'm glad you dodged that one. That was a smart decision. I hope you're not still talking to her.
I almost thought about it, too.
Oh, my God. Next time you think about it on a match date, will you fucking call me? Because I'm going to put you on the phone with my wife, and she's going to speak the truth. Okay, we're about at break time. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to actually bring you our social media director. We're going to bring our man Nate on the show with us to give a little feedback while we talk about a couple issues. We're also going to discuss Elon Musk and his little Puff Puff Give situation.
Puff Puff.
A couple things in San Diego that went on, and so on and so forth. That we're also going to do our restaurant and bar review.
Yeah, but we have to do that.
We're going to touch our restaurant and bar review, and we're also, when we're done that, we're going to mention the next place we're going to review. So we're going to preview that.
And hopefully next week, like last episode, we had a guest. Next week, hopefully we'll have a new guest.
Yeah,
also.
well, we have a lot of guests lined up. We're just going to take them as they come. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hang on.
Welcome, everybody, to the second half of the Too Much to Handle podcast. Here with Billy the Kid and the Mighty A.O. This is our little chance to do a little review. Start out the second half on some of the restaurants that we love in San Diego and that we've been to. I had a good experience this past couple weekends. And I don't know, do you want to start off with the place that we both went to? Or do you want to start out the place I was talking about in PB?
Well, you know what? Let's... Since you started off, let me hear about your experience at the duck dive down in PB.
Well, dude, it has an amazing vibe. They got it was a Sunday, so it's the perfect way to start out for perfect football if you want to go. I want to say the ratio. I was surprised. I get there around 11 o'clock. And I was still
11 a.m.
Yeah, and pretty much a lot of the tables were reserved, so you just knew it was going to be packed. And I got in there.
Do they do a brunch thing?
They do a brunch and all you can drink mimosas, and it's
okay.
It's good mimosas and all the good juices, the cranberries, and all that good stuff. I want to say the ratio, honestly, out of 8 girls to 2 guys.
Wow, 8 to 2 ratio on a 10
guys.
So okay,
I was blown away. This table's of ranging from mid-30s, college girls. It's on the corner. It's down by Garnett, and it's good food. It's a good vibe. It's an outdoor bar. It's right by the beach. A couple other cool spots. I think they got the Bareback Grill right next door. But I was just blown away. So I go in with my buddy. Music's vibing. They're playing, all types of music. Neil Diamond comes on. That Sweet Caroline.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was...
So the girls going crazy. Going
crazy. Everyone's doing their little jumping with their Facebook, doing their little thing on themselves, and everyone's jumping. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. And I was just like, dude, this is surreal. And everyone's just... It's like one big party on a Sunday. And I'm feeling blessed.
We're obviously not going to give it a cougar rating because it's duck dive at the beach in PB. So is this a college girl rating with up to 4 eyelashes? Correct?
Yeah. So if I was going to have to rate it like on the eyelash.
Well, no, you have to rate it. That's what your job is.
There's no cougars. There's no Pauls in here.
Right. Okay. So it's how many eyelashes?
It's 4 eyelashes.
It's a 4 eyelash
on a Sunday. Every Sunday, I almost feel bad that I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want it to be ruined. I don't want my ratios stay because if everyone's going to hear this, they're going to like ruin it for me.
No, yeah, not really though. It's PB. Like the ratio of girls to guys is never going to change. It's always going to be more girls than guys down there in PB. I mean,
at this particular place for the mimosa, and it was amazing. I thought the food was.
Why do you keep calling it a mimosa? Are you blending mimosa in with the mimosa? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
was there a lot of hot Asian girls there, or what's going on?
No, there was good all the young types. There was some Latinas, Puerto Ricans. And of course, all the blondes.
Good, healthy mix of college girls.
Just beautiful.
So, did you do any damage there? Did you get any numbers? Did you do anything? Or you just kind of taking it in, doing a review for the show? I
took it in, and just I was doing the bom with the ladies.
The Sweet Caroline thing. Yeah.
And I had a great day. It was a good way to start out a Sunday.
Awesome.
So if dive, let me give you the food. I didn't give you a rating. I had this chili verde chorizo type scenario. I think they put too many potatoes. I think they were trying to. Food wise is okay, but the lady wise, I'm going back every Sunday.
Food wise, it was okay, but as far as the college girl rating, you give it a solid 4 eyelashes.
Solid 4 eyelashes.
So it's a 2 thumbs up for you as far as like a Sunday afternoon in PB.
If I have friends coming in town, that's where I'm going.
Okay, cool. No, that's good.
And then this other spot that I had some other friends. We came. I took them to the Carnita Shack.
Carnita Snack Shack.
Snack Shack. I went to the one in North Park, and
It's kind of ironic. The same day you were at the Carnita Snack Shack in North Park, I was down with my wife at the Carnita Snack Shack at the harbor.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I
Yeah, they have a big outdoor
one
one there, and on Friday, Saturday they have live music. I think Sunday too. They have live bands play outside in the little park thing they have there. They have tables set up. They have a big square outdoor bar, which is nice. It's kind of a bitch to get a seat at the bar. You got to work your way up to it.
Breweries, just like San Diego's known for.
Yeah, a bunch of crap beer, but it's a full bar, and you order food at the window, and they bring it out to you. The food's killer.
I had the steak sandwich, and that was
killer. The steak sandwich is one of their staples. My wife had the BLT on a brioche bun. It was fucking
wanted
stupid.
to have that.
Oh, it was really good.
So that's like
really good stuff.
It's like I was blown away that I told you about it. That's how good it was. The food, the beer, the atmosphere, the way I thought it was just like you come up there in the front. It's like you're ordering just from a little.
Yeah, you order from a window and then you go sit down. They bring it out to you, but the food is top notch. Yeah, both places are fucking.
So I got to
awesome.
go check out the place in.
Yeah, the one down by the water there. It's a trip because it's right by the cruise ship terminals. And they have a big outdoor square bar, and I'm always like, every time I've been there, I'm sitting at the bar and I'm wondering, like, how did they close this fucking place down? Like, how did they secure it at night? You know what I mean? Like, there's no like garage door walls or anything. And come to find out, because I know a couple people that work there, they put a big tarp over everything, and they run a cable through it and lock the cable, which is just bizarre to me. I feel horrible for the people that work there because it's a lot of work. It's a total pain in the ass, and like, you know, you have a full bar back there with all the the sweet sugary stuff, and you're trying to fight
the fruit flies.
Rats also, you know what I mean? Like, but apparently they have no issues with any critters, so I
thought that was just
I give
the
them my
best
thumbs up there as well.
So what would you give that on we give eyelashes if we're going to rate it on a fork system?
Well, I was there with my lady, and there wasn't really to be completely honest with you, it was all like older couples. It was a Sunday afternoon. It wasn't really like a hot spot for girls. Like if I was a single guy with my homies, like I wouldn't go there. I'd go there for the food and to hang out, but not a hot spot like PP would be.
I hope some people check out the North Park. I enjoyed my time.
Yeah, that's the OG one, and that's the spot. So ladies and gentlemen, I do want to bring in a guest this week. He is our social media director. His name is Nathan. We are going to bring him on right now.
He's been a huge
guys,
help.
What's up?
How's it going, Nate? We're going to have Nate come on and discuss our last 3 or 4 topics with us, and get a third opinion on some things, just in case me and A.O. argue about shit. We're going to have the voice of reason with us. So, Nate, how's it going, my man?
Yeah, it's going good. Beautiful weather today. Amazing day. Knocked out a whole bunch of stuff. I was in the studio with you guys and doing some photos and some promo on Facebook and Instagram, and feeling good about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Appreciate that, buddy.
The stuff you're posting on there is awesome. It's good content, good photos. We're very, very happy to have you a part of the team. In case we haven't shared that enough with you, but you are the man. You've been taking care of all the loose ends, so to speak, that A.O. and I aren't that
savvy
with. Thank you.
But you know what? True. It's cool because we get to bounce ideas off him. We get to say, hey, what do you think? What? Because we're going after a demographics, and it's good for him to get our feedback so he knows where we need to be at.
Well, Nate's got a strong background in social media. That's his shtick. So it's nice having someone who's a guru, so to speak, in the social media world.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do my best. There's a lot to pay attention to. There's a lot to research, and there's learning always. The learning curve is always going. And if you're not on it, you're just not on it.
I love your even passion. You're throwing a little photography into this. You're doing a lot of search engines for us. It's cool, and I'm actually excited to get your opinion on some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. The crazy stories.
I'm ready.
What do we have?
Just to give a a fresh opinion on a couple things. So let me start out by asking you this. Like, I don't know a whole lot about Elon Musk. You know,
But he
the
was
Tesla
on
owner.
Joe Rogan this week.
Yeah, but apparently he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I watched it.
and
Right.
He's a genius. I'm in the tech industry myself. I'm in the LED and Orion industry. So anything that has to do with electrical cars, solar, dude, I'm interested. He wants to change the world, bro.
He does want to change the world,
he
and
got
he's got his hands in a lot of stuff. But
he got caught
the
smoking
point
weed.
at hand
He got caught
is
smoking
he
weed.
smoked weed with Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
And
no.
Did they smoke live on the podcast?
It was at the end. That's why. What makes me so mad? He had so much good stuff to say. He was brilliant all the way through, and that's all they're focusing on, man. Just and you know what it was?
Yeah.
It was a half tobacco,
Right.
half marijuana, just like a cigarette tobacco stick.
It's like a blunt.
And he only took 1 or 2 puffs. He didn't even know what the fuck he was
right.
doing. And he drank a little bit of whiskey, and we over-sensualized the whole scenario. Granted, he's basically like a Tesla of our generation. He's an Edison of our generation. He's a marketing madness that SpaceX. He's taking rockets to the out of space.
Right.
This guy's
which
changing
is
the world.
insane. It's crazy, and it's great. And I've been hearing a little bit of this news. Just kind of like as I'm flipping through, I've been so busy, I haven't been really able to just look at what's going on
Focus,
social
yeah.
media.
I'm a big Joe
between
Rogan fan.
him and Mac Miller dying, and all this
Yeah.
crazy shit happening.
Oh my God, my wife and my daughter were
They're-
just mortified hearing about Mac
one
Miller.
of my, I love the guy. He's great. Very inspirational. I know that I've listened to a lot of his music, and I'm like, but Elon Musk. Honestly, hearing from you guys kind of in depth and hearing off mic, what you guys have to say about it has gotten me kind of just like, I'm kind of on the fence with it. Because I know he was putting out, this whole thing about, shooting people to Mars. And this guy's innovative. This guy's doing all this crazy stuff that's getting, technology and the human civilization like up to another level.
Mhm.
He's talking about AI.
Right. AI running things and making things more efficient, making life better. And so, I mean...
He has a futuristic point of view.
I see, on one hand, it's like, yeah, well, I mean, he's still a genius, and say he does smoke a little pot, drink a little, whatever.
Who
On the
doesn't,
other
though?
hand,
But really, who doesn't?
On the other hand, I'm sitting here thinking about, my first thought was, he's going to be sending people to Mars with his schematics and, and shit, right?
Right.
So, I mean, the first thing in my head, is like, yeah, we'll go and put the cockpit here as he's like fucking smoking a blunt. I don't think I want to be on that rocket ship. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm pretty sure he's not the one.
Exactly. He's not the one making decisions.
He's not the one in command. I'm
it's
sure
just a
he's
thought,
not.
just a thought.
I'm sure he's not mission control in any of those missions.
This guy is working 7 days a week, 80+ hours a week.
Right.
He has so many different companies. He has to have these ideas, and he has all these people doing amazing stuff for him. I think it was cool for him to actually do it because it showed he was human.
Right.
I think it shows that he's one of us because smoking weed is, I think it's the best thing compared to all the other drugs out there.
Yeah.
It's a staple and it's a good for the economy. It's good for California.
California. Shout out
So
to
is
California.
Elon Musk just trying to stimulate the economy by smoking weed with Joe Rogan? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It was definitely a marketing move. He did that to go and
I'm telling
boost
you.
up sales.
Next, he's going to have a new invention for the growth of marijuana hybrid.
Oh man.
I'm excited.
Elon Blunt is
Elon-
the new brand.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's the new name
That's
right
his
there.
new
But it
road
will
name,
send you
Elon
to
Blunt.
space in a Tesla.
Ooh.
Just Tesla-shaped blunts.
High as fuck.
I'm surprised they haven't had anything like that yet.
Oh
Those are
my
brilliant.
god.
I can't wait. That'd be the #1 strain. to
Oh
take
yeah,
it.
the next rocket's going to be in the shape of a fucking big blunt. It's just
Oh.
going to shoot right into space.
I hope it's
It's going to
for
be
the
loaded.
Oh,
With,
dude.
for the people that know.
the missile's going to be loaded with Doritos and fucking.
You guys,
Tostitos.
you guys see the picture? You know how there's like a live feed of the Tesla being shot out, with the Rocket Man in there? I'm pretty damn sure the next memes that are gonna come out are gonna be that Rocket Man in that car shooting off to Mars with a blunt in his hand.
Oh yeah, for
after
sure.
This,
And
so.
somebody is going to meme that or make some kind of
But
connotation of that.
here's
for
the
sure.
biggest
man.
thing. He looks so unhappy smoking that, and everything they show is like this big patch of smoke, like this cigar. Like he just looks all like perpence. He doesn't look like he's having fun.
Okay, but
they got a bad shot.
Well,
he should be all chill. Like,
But what about this? Like I've heard that his shares have dropped
they have?
Yeah.
considerably
But
since that came out. Now, is
that's
this something
happened-
you think that's going to stick, or is this just a temporary thing because he's got some maybe people older in age?
It's a good
as
time
far
for
as
me to buy
investors?
stock right now if it goes down because it's going to
Yeah,
go
no,
back
that's
up.
that's a great
So
point.
It really makes you wonder because I mean, like there are guys behind Elon Musk. There are guys that are managing him. As far as like public relations go. So I wonder if this was like a strategy, or when he was pulling out the blunt, his guys are in the background, wondering like, what are you doing?
But in
No,
that's
that's smart though.
I
In
don't
that
know, just a thought.
industry, who else has who's his competitors? No competitors. He
Yeah, but-
doesn't have a competitor.
Right, but you
He's
can't
good.
imagine him doing something without,
I wanted
Consulting
this.
something planned in
He's a
advance. of what he's
business.
saying.
He
Like,
tracks great business, and that's what he said he's good
It
at.
would be odd for me to believe that someone of that magnitude who has that many things going on would
Had
just get on a
no idea.
podcast and just smoke a blunt and without any consequence and not think that maybe I know what I'm doing
'cause
ahead
he-
of time.
he
You know what I
did-
mean?
He
Right.
knew he
No,
was
I
going to
totally
drink his
agree.
whiskey, and he knew he was going to smoke his blunt with Joe Rogan, and I was cool with that. And I thought, especially for today's society, I think smoking the weed's not bad. So, hey, Elon Musk, I'm really proud of him.
I definitely agree. I
So
definitely agree.
so long term, you guys don't think it's going to have any effect on his?
I think
his shares
Nike
or-
made a worse call on.
I definitely think Nike made a worse call
And
than
I think,
Elon Musk.
yeah. So
I mean, that's just. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like, as far as the whole Kaepernick thing, because I heard you guys talking about it. I mean, Nike as a business and what their demographic, what they're shooting for, it's a very, very, unpopular idea, whether it be righteous in some aspect, as far as profitability.
but they hit their demographic.
I'm not entirely sure if that was the best move, but as far as Elon Musk goes, there's such a progressive movement as far as the marijuana industry. I don't know whether or not at
It
first
is a
there's going
very
to be huge
progressive
backlash.
movement.
And
There's
then,
so much stuff.
you
There's
know,
stocks. There's so much in the fertilizer industry.
Right,
There's
right.
health. There's clothes. There's cars. They can make so much with the hemp. It would put the cotton industry out. That's kind of why they don't want.
I mean,
that.
for him
they
doing
put the
that-
opium industry. How many industries would they have changed? Changed the plastic industry.
for him doing that,
crazy.
He's essentially, he's a public figure. He knows that, and so do his PR guys or whatever. So for him to do that is essentially promoting that industry. It is.
It did, and so we're gonna ride that industry because I plan on being in that industry. And
You know?
hopefully, we'll have some people soon. with
Smart guys
guests.
could smoke weed too, right? Isn't that the whole thing? Like you smoke and you get a better perspective on different things, and
It gives you
here
ideas.
you are, one
it
of the
relaxes your mind.
most innovative men in the whole world.
Oh, I'm sure
you
if
know?
we.
So I don't know. It's just a thought.
I'm sure if we dug into that, I'm sure we would find that there are a plethora of multi-millionaire inventors or
That are secretly
business owners and
doing their
CEOs
little
that
thing.
are definitely smoking. You know what I mean? Like you would be foolish to think that they're not.
Right.
I've met plenty of celebrities and smart people and rich, successful people that are definitely regular marijuana smokers, and
Right.
You would never know.
fooling yourself if you think they weren't.
And-
I mean, you really would.
I don't know. I drive a lot for work. I think it takes the edge off after a long day. Personally,
So another bizarre story that I wanted to bring up is here in San Diego last week, there was a bunch of sightings about a circular light in the sky. And it was just hovering and it wasn't moving anywhere. And people could see it as far as La Mesa to Del Mar to Point Loma. And everyone was tripping out, taking photographs of it. And come to find out, after digging deep into it. From what I gather,
Yeah, because it was causing a little stir.
It was a riff. It was
It
on
made
the
the
news. It was on a bunch of news channels. People were. I know Fox News 5 in San
Wow.
Diego was asking people to send photos in of what they saw because no one had figured out yet. So what I've been told and what it was explained to me was that it was a military flare.
But tell me what it looked like. If
But
people
it
would have
looks
thought it.
well. It looks like a. I mean,
Bunch
whatever,
of aliens, like a bunch of stars lined up, and like they were
looked
just waiting.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like a circular.
Really? I've never.
thing
Yeah, I'm
of
gonna go
lights.
pull it up.
Yeah, this
I
happened a
wanna
couple
see
weeks
it.
ago, and it wasn't like over the ocean. You said, right? And
No, it wasn't over the ocean. I think it was just
Downtown,
near
right?
downtown. Yeah, if you were to Google San Diego lights, UFO sighting in San Diego. So apparently it's a flare exercise by the Navy SEALs, I believe. Is that what it was?
yeah, it's supposed to light up the area for a constant.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm pulling it up right now, and I'm
Now
seeing.
tell me
this.
that doesn't look like something other
I have
than
never seen
a
anything.
flare. I've never
like
seen a
this
flare that just.
before.
Okay,
Wow.
so what I don't understand is they're saying it was a flare exercise, but how do flares suspend in space for an hour so
Right.
people can take photographs of them?
Right.
I've never seen a flare defy gravity. How the fuck is that happening?
Oh,
They
there's
don't
a lot
have
of
wings
stuff
on
that
them. Okay, explain to me how a flare defies gravity.
I can't explain it, but they got technologies that's zero gravity out there. So I mean, things that could
I have
sustain
never-
themselves.
We're
I have no
talking
idea.
right above the city. We're not talking about
Sounds like a technology
up in
that
the-
could light up
air
a whole
like a satellite.
area.
I know, but how does it float? How does it levitate in the air right above downtown?
I mean, I thought there were flares that you shoot up and they stay up in the air for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I thought there were those little red guns. You know, you put the little thing in.
Well,
and
yeah,
you
no, they
pop it
shoot
up
off,
and it shoots up and it stays up
and then they gradually, slowly come down.
there. Okay, for some reason, maybe in every movie I've seen, because I've never shot up a flare or really seen one in real life, but
Okay.
every time I've seen it, it's always stayed up
Yeah,
for a
it
while.
stayed up. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
what is your define a while?
You know, a good 5 minutes, 10
Okay,
minutes,
this thing was up for an hour or two.
an hour or two.
Yeah.
I mean,
People
I'm
all
looking
over
at
the
it right
city-
now. I'm looking at it right now. It does not look like
Does that look
any
like
flare that
does that
I've
look
seen.
like flares to you?
No,
I
it
know,
looks like
I
just
don't-
a light circle over there. So
No,
I'm
not
really,
ruling it out. Obviously, I'm no military expert. I don't know these exercises, but what I do know is the photos I've seen,
Mhm.
clear as day, like you're looking at,
Yeah.
and apparently this has been
I know.
suspended in air for an hour or two.
Going back to Musk, probably about 4 months ago, he shot his SpaceX rocket that looked like
Right.
something that was going through the outer space.
like
and
a
we're
giant sperm.
dude, it looked like we were getting
Okay,
invaded.
that's in space though.
No,
this
we
is
could see
right
this.
above the city.
This is,
Right.
dude, what we saw, every city could see it, is this bright, like,
Okay, so if every city could see it, it's way the fuck up there. That's my
Right.
point. This thing in San Diego was right above the cityscape. Not, we're not talking.
I hear you.
We're talking
what's
2,000
cool,
feet,
but they're
not
explainable
10,000,
scenarios, and
30,000.
these happen.
I mean, I
People
was
get
just
freaked out.
watching. So it's funny, and dude, I'm a sci-fi nut. You know, I like to look at all this other stuff. The different videos on YouTube talking. Explaining freaking.
I'm into that stuff
pyramids
too.
and shit like that.
Alien.
Aliens. I'm a geek. I like to geek out on that stuff. And see whether or not this stuff is plausible.
If it makes sense.
And
Science.
the last thing that I was watching was this guy was explaining if a four-dimensional being were to go ahead and basically put something in three-dimensional space, which is a plane that we live in, what it would look like. And
our perspectives are different.
yeah, our perspectives are different. So for what they might be showing us is only a
what
brief.
we see is not always the truth.
Exactly, it's not the whole picture. And so I mean, for you guys to bring this up is kind of just like
It's testing theories, and
Yeah,
it
it's
just
so
shows you we
interesting.
can't take stuff at face value.
Yeah,
And
it
we're
may as well be a flare. Is it something else? That's not confirmed. But shoot,
But
I'd love to believe.
But they
honestly.
explained it on the news, so that was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. So, but I could see
well, no, they
when-
explained it on a website thing I read. And okay, let me ask you.
What was
this.
it? An airplane just dropping? Circle
It said it
flares?
was all it said was it was an
Drones?
exercise where they were dropping flares.
Okay.
So let me ask you this though.
They do so many exercises. When I
Say
was in
it
the
wasn't.
Navies,
Say hypothetically it wasn't a Navy exercise.
Okay.
What do you think they would say it was? They're not going to share. Oh yeah, that was a fucking UFO. They're going to tell you it was a Navy exercise shooting flares.
Right.
No matter what kind of intelligence it was, we're not going to get the truth about it. So, like, going to what you guys are just saying, what we see is not always what was really going on. Mm-hmm. So how is this any different? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It's not
So you, as a person that takes it in, it's up to you what you want to believe. If you want to research a little bit more and then go with that answer, so you could believe in aliens all you want.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that used to work for the Defense Department that are saying now,
are denouncing what were the past, like, oh, this was military. No, it was not. You know,
yeah, they're saying like, no, this was
correct.
a UFO. This, you know, we have had some type of contact or some type of evidence of something.
So if it happens, I'm cool with it. It hasn't really made our mainstream where they're interacting with us. So if they're just making their presence, then that's cool, and they want to explain it as a military exercise. That's cool.
So this is what I would ask.
They're not interfering with us.
You know, and this is before going. I mean, this is just for me. This is really interesting. But this is what I would ask. You know, if it were to be an extraterrestrial or maybe another dimension, like some type of being trying to contact us, what would it be trying to say?
Would they accomplish?
What's the point of that? What was the point of that?
Exactly. So it was lights. Great. Now we're
observation. I don't know.
So,
I mean, fuck. I guess I watched too many fucking
too
many cheesy sci-fi movies. I don't know.
What I'm trying to say,
but like, okay, well, let me ask you. Let's take this the next step further.
It's Saturday.
Okay.
What if it was something for whatever magnitude? Can you imagine how American or like globally how people's perception of UFOs will change? Like, can you imagine like
that's just
having knowledge of like, you know, like proof, so to speak, for general citizens to know that there's something out there? Like, that's crazy if you really think about that.
But there is
like, we've been spoon-fed from our government that it's just us flying the moon.
No, I think they're out there.
No, nothing. And
we think they're out there. We know they're out there. But are they interacting with us? Are they showing us? Why aren't they part of like our CNN? You know, they're not there.
Maybe they're more scared of us than we are of them.
So
you know,
they're just there, and then if they are, if they're not, who cares? They're not.
It's
They're
about
not.
to be
They're not doing.
Sci-fi alien.
I don't know, man. We can laugh and bullshit all you want about it, but I'm telling you,
you know, either way, whether
I don't believe
it was,
that there's nothing.
if it was not a military exercise, you know, it would still be broadcasted on the news that it was.
Oh,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know, I'm on the same page with that.
We would never hear what was really going on.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, what I think, you know, is that you know, me in closing with that is. Yeah, I think it was probably a military exercise, you know.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, but there's been a lot of other shit that I'm not sold on. Okay, so another contradictory story. Do you remember that HBO special Cat House where it was a reality show of that brothel in Nevada?
I remember watching it about 20 years ago. I was like, wow, they're putting this
stuff
stuff out.
It came on about 15, 20. Started
like,
15, 20 years
it's
ago.
Like,
it was on for like 10 years.
Because it's out in Vegas. They have,
and
it's in
Cat House. I mean, it was it's the Bunny Ranch. I think is the actual brothel. It was the Bunny Ranch.
There we go, brothel. It's a legal place of interaction, right?
Yeah. So they had
a brothel.
They had
house.
cameras inside some of the rooms to show some of the people's weird kinks and that kind of shit. And they would, you know, not show penetration or anything weird.
And
but
I think
anyway.
they had a face covered. Yeah, it was like HBO, kind of like a little
it was
soft
HBO
porn.
Cat House. Yeah, pretty much soft porn. Yeah. So
after hours TV,
but reality TV.
Yeah. So the owner of the brothel, Dennis Hoff, has been recently accused of sexual assault by 2 of the employees. And when I mean by employees, I mean 2 of the quote unquote sex workers inside the brothel. Now, I don't know about you, but I just think that it's always ironic to me how once something fizzles out and once something's not on TV anymore, how people start making accusations. Now, don't get me wrong, if these women were sexually assaulted, that's terrible.
Right.
He should be imprisoned and end of story. But do you not find it kind of ironic that basically a hooker, a fucking whore, is accusing the owner of sexually assaulting them? Like, I mean, what's your take on that? Is it?
But aren't they both kind of hookers?
Aren't
Yeah,
both?
the two sexual workers.
No,
yeah.
no,
Well,
not
no.
the two sexual workers. I'm talking about the boss because if you're being
How is he a hooker? He just owns the business.
I mean, in layman's term, he's a pimp.
He's a pimp. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
being
Legally.
so he's a pimp, but that means you're still going out and
I'm just
Nah, he's
wondering
not-
how
he's capitalizing off of what they're doing.
not
he's
one
not
but two
necessarily a
women are
hooker.
accusing him of sexually assaulting them. I'm just wondering
There's-
how
there's-
does that
there's-
transpire
there's
Right.
when
probably
they?
a personal vendetta. They know
You
when
know what?
when
I was
you,
thinking the same
when
thing.
you have money, people are always going to go for
Well,
you.
that's
Right.
okay. That's my point. That's my point.
So-
Like, doesn't it
so-
seem ironic that
yeah, there's variables, but
it's
there's
someone who
there's-
gets fucked every night, all night, and
For
then
a
all of a
job.
sudden are going
For a
to
job.
accuse the owner of sexually assaulting them? Like, really? Doesn't that, I mean?
Right.
I mean, and again, I'm not trying to sound insensitive or heartless to the
Well,
women because
you
if
are.
the women were legitimately sexually assaulted,
So it-
again, that's fucking
so
horrible.
All I know is
I'm just saying it
if-
sounds
if they are, they got to speak out.
fishy.
It
No
does,
pun
but
intended.
then we'll find out. It sucks that no matter what, he put himself in a situation that potentially, when you're in that situation, it's gonna probably someone's
Well,
gonna.
that's what I'm wondering. Is it because of who he is that
It is.
he was an
And
easy
pot-
target?
I would just say that as a sex worker, we're one that namely that's your boss. As a sex worker working in that kind of environment, I think it kind of takes away from your credibility.
Thank you.
I think it does
So that's
really take
essentially
away from your
one-
credibility. I mean, like every night, your job is to go out, and make money, and the way you do so
Several
is
times
to
a night.
have sexual intercourse. And you're telling me that there is one instance of sexual intercourse. I don't know how long they've been working for them. Maybe
I
there's
think,
been
I
a
think
span
they
of
have the rights
1,000,
to tell
100,
anyone no they want to. They don't have to just go and do everything. They have the right to say.
they
so
don't.
whether
Right, but
they
don't you?
they
okay.
still have the right.
As
No
a-
matter what, they
of
have the
course.
choice. They
No,
can
no.
deny, just like you're a
Right,
restaurant.
right.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Again,
So-
that falls right back into
Right.
the point
So
where I
if-
was saying, like,
you're
if
going,
they were.
if you're going to go that, you got to go both sides. You got to hey, can't just say because I'm the owner and the probability.
But don't you
Probably-
think? Okay, let me ask you this: don't you think then, as a sex worker, as they are, and they have sex several times a night, every
Right.
night they work, don't you think that sex becomes kind of desensitized to them, and for them to plead sexual assault on someone who maybe they
Okay, does it get desensitized to a guy that always has sex also too? That way, because he's also
Yeah,
the
but
guy's
he's not
going in
accusing anyone of sexual assault. The women are charging him with sexual assault. And
Is there a scenario? Is there a scenario? or is
what's
that
the
just the
story?
whole story?
Yeah.
that's all that's been relayed is
Right.
that the two women were accusing him of sexual assault. They wouldn't relay any deep
Right.
info on the news story I read. I think it was in. I don't want to name a news syndicate because I don't know for sure.
I mean, I would just say personally, hearing of anybody that's working in the sex industry, you're already in a bad spot.
There you go.
Like
You
there
put
are
yourself
already
in a
people
bad spot.
putting you in positions where
That-
they are paying you, but this is not the type of sex that maybe you
Are into.
are into.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I didn't hear
so-
anything about anything
Right.
bizarro and like
So
physically like.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's
Maybe I'll have to
Yeah,
see what a
it's definitely
follow-up
such
story
a
on
gray
this is.
area because it is
Right?
legal to have
That's
a
what I'm
brothel there, but then at the same time, everywhere else, it's like it's not.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
how do you really?
So it's like
You
how the
know.
Indian reservations. They got their own laws and stuff out there because
Right.
they're allowed. It's legal out there.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
throwing this out there. What if some client, not even this boss, what if his fetish was for her to say no? He's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you extra. Just
Yeah,
say no while I'm doing this.
exactly.
Then, being a sex worker, what is your
So what-
case?
What's your boundary?
Yeah, I really don't, so as far as that goes, I think you lose a lot of credibility. Do I think that women should be protected in every area? Yeah. But in this specific one, not even really, but it just makes it kind of very hard. I'm not,
I think at the end of the
I'm
day, my point
interested
is
to
with
find
this,
out and hear about what
Yeah,
happens.
I think.
I want to hear more.
I think my point is with this one. I think it's going to be very, extremely difficult for these women to prove any type of sexual assault case.
Right.
When all they do is have sex every day.
Right.
But you know what's crazy about
multiple
it?
times.
Today's society, when you say it's hard, all you need is a little proof of camera. I mean, today we have all the proof that we can, if we want.
But I would have read if there was some kind of video proof of anything.
Right.
I think from
no,
what I
no
read,
Omarosa?
it was all word of mouth.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I think the accusation, you know, if there's an accusation, there should be a case, you know. And
Well,
as
we'll
far as
see.
whether or not he's guilty, you know, like that's the court.
But that's
you know?
crazy. The Cat House.
Yeah,
HBO.
we'll see where it goes.
Shoot,
I
man, crazy,
thought it was
man.
ironic. I thought it was worth bringing up because it was just kind of funny that someone who has sex for a living is complaining about sexual assault. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, again,
I
we'll
mean, how many
clarify here.
encounters?
No one here at
Right.
Too Much to Handle podcast condones any type of sexual assault
No
on any
way,
any
no way.
women. Of course not. And again, if they're accurate, then fuck that guy. He deserves to go down.
Yeah.
But maybe
But you got to understand.
it just seems a
he's in-
little hokey.
But he's in a
that
position where
industry-
those type of scenarios can go down.
He's a high profile guy
Yeah.
in that world,
And-
so I could see how he's an
so
easy target.
it's-
Anyway,
it's bound to
we'll
happen.
see. We'll follow it up. We could all be wrong. We could all be right. You never know. So I do want to bring up regarding our next podcast, we are going to be doing a review. Anthony and I both, AO and I, will both be at
Tower.
Jordan at Tower 23 in PB. Jordan is the restaurant located in the Tower 23 hotel. We do have a buddy who is a manager there. We're not letting him know when we're coming in because that wouldn't be a fair assessment of a restaurant or bar. So we will be reviewing that place.
down
And-
in PB.
Yep, down in PB.
That's like a hotel, like a little hot spot on the beach on the
Yep,
boardwalk.
right there in PB.
I'll be at KABOO this weekend doing a little party up, and you're there Friday, so thank you for the tickets.
This weekend is KABOO in Del Mar. For those of you who don't know, it's a big music festival in Del Mar.
The little
at the racetrack.
Coachella of San Diego.
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday music event, and
It's gonna be crazy
tons
down in
of
San
bands.
Diego.
It's,
We got San Diego State playing Arizona State down at Qualcomm.
is that this coming
Yeah,
weekend?
we got
oh,
college.
That's a big game.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that'll be a big party.
More
That's
f-
actually
more
You want
football.
to talk about going to see girls? San Diego State, Arizona State.
I was supposed to have
Come
tickets to that
on.
too, and I was like, okay, I'm going to KABOO.
Oh,
And
ooh,
then
that's
so
a tough one.
I have a lot of friends coming into town.
Well, you got Match.com, so you're okay.
No, I got it's duck dive this weekend.
Oh, whatever. All right, so on that note, I will go to our sponsor of the week, and that is Off-Road Warehouse. Anyone of you guys who has a Jeep, Toyota, Ford, Chevy, or just a desert toy, take your goods down to Off-Road Warehouse. If you need any lift kits, shocks, anything off-road related, Off-Road Warehouse has it all. offroadwarehouse.com. Look them up. They got everything. For Nate and AO, I am Billy the Kid, and we welcome new viewers next week. I hope to.
I want to wish everyone a blessed week and just have a great, exciting, have fun. Go out there, love life, and go have fun.
Heck
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, guys. I really
Hey,
appreciate
Nate,
it.
it was a pleasure having you.
We
I
look
appreciate
to a lot of
input.
your work. Yeah, well, I'm excited for what you got to do for us. And
Yeah, when you guys see all the illustrious photographs and everything on on Facebook and Instagram
That's
and
Nate Dogg.
YouTube, that's our boy Nate Dogg. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
All
Peace
right.
out.